clean that wood. It'll get infected.
Leave it!
Here you are, an ox. Now hold still.
It's not so terrible.
Oh? The last time you got this kind of a thrashing was near Budweiser.
Exaggerating.
Sorry, I forgot the great Jan Shishka always has to be a hero, even if it costs him his life. And I, goose that I am, bother him by caring whether he lives or dies.
Catherine.
You should. Talk. Just train yourself.
Ow! What's the matter? You afraid of thunder, dog? To hell with the storm. It's this castle. I keep hearing the wind howling in my chamber. I hardly slept a wink. We've got a whole night ahead of us.
Oh, mistress mine, your lips like red wine. I'll drink your love until I die, my red wine.
Huh?
Ride the horse into the ground if you like. You'll pass through Senates. That belongs to the Rosenbergs, and they'll give you a fresh one. Here's a report for von Berghoff. I almost felt sorry for Radzig's bastard. But we got what we want. The main thing is, find Job's spy, Liechtenstein.
What's the matter? You worried about me?
Don't worry, I'll be fine.
You've grown into a very capable young man. But you still have to learn to fight for your place in the sun. Nobody will hand anything on a platter to men like you and me.
I won't forget that.
Farewell.
Farewell, dear boy.
Sir Istvan had some bad encounter with our guests before. He don't want to leave nothing to chance. trouble. We're already in trouble. Come on. I ain't going nowhere till I've drunk up. Have it your way then. Huh? Eh? I heard something. Huh?
Ink. This must be the scribe's chamber. There's nothing here. There aren't any orders here.
You just won't give up, will you? No, I actually like that about you. It reminds me of someone.
I'm not like you.
Indeed. Last time you let me go. That's not my style. And it came back to haunt you. So, what's it gonna be? A fair fight? Or are you finally going to learn?
There was something I wanted to ask you before I end it with you.
You're damn sure of yourself. That's another way you're like me. But go ahead and ask. The night is young. I'm in no hurry.
Why the hell did you join Zizka?
You didn't understand what I said before? Or have you forgotten?
I never believed a word you said.
Believe it or not, I spoke the truth. I should have put a stop to him and taken over his band. And I could have. Cutthroats like that don't give a shit who they're killing or why.
Didn't quite work out for you, though. Von Burgov didn't even know where you were holed up.
Zizka was more cautious and faster than I expected. But you lot weren't too successful either. So just what are we accusing each other of here?
Tell me one thing. Why? Why Zizka? Why Von Burgov? Why choose this life?
I'll give you a piece of advice in life, lad. We're just pawns on the chessboard. You can't change anything. Nobody will give you anything. You're just there to be exploited and sacrificed. So it's up to you alone to grab whatever you can and join the right side, because the stronger dog
Fucks the bitches.
See there. At least you've learned one thing from me,
That's just stupid tough talk.
if you say so. You asked why Sigismund? Because you morons are trying to rescue a king who's a drunkard so that the local noblemen can continue their thieving in a land without a ruler. While Sigismund has the Turks on his borders, but has to deal with your petty squabbles instead. And you can't... Imagine what will happen if he fails to stop the Turks. To you two, to all of us. I lived through it.
So you joined the right side? How is Sigismund the right side?
The stronger one. The victorious one. That's the right side.
You think Sigismund will win?
Come on, lad. Who else? Your band of peasants from Lower Swamphole led by a turngoat who wants to save the king of the wineskins? How are you lot going to do that? And what will you have out of it? What's your plan for the future?
You're just the first name in a long list. Mark Vart von Aulitz, Otto von Burgov, and I won't forget your beloved Eric. Don't you worry.
And then, the entire League of Lords? The Prague Councillors? Or will you kill Sigismund? Who put them on your list? The Pope? And what will you do when you're finished with that mission? Revenge doesn't give life meaning. It's just childish nonsense. It won't feed you. You can't fuck it. That said, it's necessary sometimes. I can't deny that.
Well, you needn't concern yourself about that. Because I'll be starting with you. Where on earth do you get the idea that we're the same?
Us we are. War took your home and family. Do you think you're the only one? No, boy, you're not. But as well as taking, the war also gave our lives meaning. Yours, mine, just like everyone caught up in it.
Whatever meaning war gave to you, it gave me an entirely different one. I want to end it, not get rich from it.
You trying to make me laugh? You want to stop the war started by King Wenceslas's incompetence by helping that same Wenceslas? Sigismund is just trying to clean up the mess he made.
By murdering and plundering?
Fight fire with fire. The Czech nobles were given a chance, but instead of taking advantage of it, they started to rebel.
Oh? And why do you think, eh?
Why? Because a weak king was just what they wanted. Everyone did whatever they wanted and exploited the situation for their own benefit, including your father and Hanush. And Sigismund would put an end to that. That's all that's behind it.
Don't try those games of yours on me.
Games? We're here alone and I'm unarmed. There are only a few soldiers here in this. There's nothing to stop you killing them. We're on opposite sides. I've already lived through your whole life. I'm only trying to advise you.
Oh, yeah? And what is it you suggest?
Like I already said, look after number one. Side with the strong. Loyalty is all very well, but the noblemen are just out for themselves too. Who knows if Radzig will think twice about you when the war ends.
You're no judge of people. Well, I'm afraid your life will be over before this war is, so you won't get the chance to see how my father behaves.
I'm still alive, you bastard.
I think we've spoken enough about our so-called similarities.
Whatever you say.
Where did you find that Eric of yours?
Eric had the same fate as you.
Right. So you're like me, Eric's like me. Who else is like me? Otto von Berghoff? Sigismund?
Eric's an orphan, like us. I found him during a raid in Moravia.
Found him? During a raid? So you made him an orphan?
War is a nasty business.
That's what I keep hearing.
Eric's a common villager, like you. Even more than you, in fact. His father wasn't a noble, but a peasant.
What message should I pass on to Eric when I'm slicing his belly open?
You'll do nothing of the sort.
Oh dear. The smile is frozen on your face. There's no prison that can hold me, as you can see. I defeated Shishka in a duel. I made it all the way here. And just so that I can kill you.
This is just between the two of us. Eric never did anything to you. Leave him out of it.
Well, well. I get the feeling you have something to tell me about it. You speak about him like he was your son. Or when I saw you in the courtyard, there was something more to it. You love it.
Do what you like. Take your revenge if you can. Drown me in blood if you want. But leave him be, please.
Are you begging me? We've hardly got started, and you're already begging.
Yes, I'm begging you.
Well, I'm not like you. So, I'll give you a chance.
If you think you have a chance, be my guest.
was right. The stronger dog. Fucks the bitches.
I hope the bastard didn't have those keys on him. Better take a look in his chambers upstairs. István's chambers. Maybe I'll get lucky. Great. And István's keys. And no sign of the orders. At least I found the most important. here. No sign of Sigismund's orders. Maybe I'll have better luck in the scribe's room. There aren't any orders here. It doesn't look like there's anything interesting here. Maybe Godwin had better luck. I should see how he's getting on. It doesn't look like there's anything interesting here. Maybe Godwin had better luck. I should see how he's getting on.
What are you doing here, Godwin?
What do you think? It's locked. Did you find those keys? Maybe you've got the one for this damn door.
I've got them.
Excellent. Open the door. I've always wanted to take a look at that old chambers. I'm sure he's got some good wine hidden here somewhere.
Where could they be? No orders anywhere. The sod all here. The sod all here.
This is it. I have it, Henry. We can finally get the fuck out of here. Come on, hurry. We need to get out of here.
I think we have everything. We can go.
You took our things.
I did.
We have the orders. Let's get out of this accursed place.
Great. Do you have the...
We have the keys, the orders, and our things.
And also a rather nice sword. I suppose you settled things with the Hungarian.
Before you lot start exchanging revenge stories, give me the keys. I have to find the right one.
Here you are. Istvan is dead. I killed him.
And is it a weight off your shoulders? Has anything changed?
Aye. It's a wonderful feeling. Now I just have to sort out the rest of them.
Be careful, Henry. It's understandable after what happened to you. But taking pleasure in revenge can be dangerous. And not just for your soul.
Amen.
Leave him be. He's a warrior. You can see it in his eyes. You did the right thing, Henry. And did you follow my advice? Or did you take needless risks?
I acted like a knight. I gave him the chance to defend himself.
So you ignored my advice? Oh, dear lad. What would have happened if you had lost? Did you think about that? A knight can't think like that. To hell with that, but... that bastard didn't deserve a fair... fight. You should have gutted him in his sleep, like Godwin said. Well, thank God it didn't end up worse.
If you've all finished chatting, I'd like to remind you where we are. We have to vanish, now!
Is it far? Zizka won't make it too far on foot. I'll make it.
How should I know? I've never been here before. I think the passage ends somewhere in Apollonia, and that's a short way from the castle. There's an old poacher's camp in the rocks there, and my people will be waiting there. You go first, Henry, and light the way. I'll lock the gate behind us.
Well, let's go then. I just hope we won't get buried alive. In that case, at least we'll have a burial with a priest. many things over a tankard of beer in the tavern.
What did you expect? An underground palace?
No, but maybe a maze or a bit of glowing moss. I'd have imagined the secret tunnel would be more like a Minotaur's labyrinth in Crete. This,
Minor.
the Minotaur.
I know a lot of bull-headed men. I don't have to read any old tales in some seminary. Right, Zhishka?
Catherine!
And how did this mini tower of yours come to have a bull's head? Maybe that would explain how it happens to all those other fellas.
Well, his mother, Queen Pasiphae, had relations with a mythical white bull, by which I'm not implying the same goes for the captain here. Very wise.
And what happened to this mini Mino bullman?
He was killed by the Athenian prince Theseus, though I have to add he had quite a bit of help from Princess Ariadne. She gave him a magical thread to help him find his way out of the labyrinth.
Monsters and princesses with magical thread? Must have been an interesting ceremony then.
I used it to polish my Greek.
I think I can figure out what you were polishing. Over a story where a mythical queen has related to the
Fresh air at last. Now, if we had a little wine.
They've noticed we're gone. Fuck. How far are your people with the horses?
Young Mika will be waiting half a mile to the south, at an old camp.
I need to rest.
Supposing we take a look at Sigismund's letter. See what the bastard is plotting.
Oh, good idea. Here, give me some light. Now, let me see. I, Sigismund of Luxembourg, by the will of God, King of Hungary, Dalmatia, and Bohemia.
Oh, Christ, skip that.
And I therefore call my loyal ally. Sigismund is mustering his allies and their armed forces to Kuttenberg.
What does it mean?
It means that he's lost patience. And he's planning to crush the resistance while he still can.
So, von Burgov and von Aulitz have gone to Kuttenberg?
Yeah. And my friend Hinek of Kunstadt is at Suchdal Fortress, not far from Kuttenberg. And Liechtenstein is in Kuttenberg too. We have to warn them.
And we have to help Capon?
Yeah, but first we must get away from here. Only he can't get far on foot.
I'll bring the horses to the road. You wait here.
But the place is crawling with them.
You go ahead. They'll give up in a while. We'll move further back inside.
When you meet Mika, the password is Falcon. God go with you, lad.
We're looking for an old priest and 2 men. They're killers, armed and dangerous. So watch your back. Let's go. Here he is!
I've been waiting for you. Right on the nose. Fuck you. Show what you're made of.
Everyone ready? We're looking for an old priest and 2 men. They're killers, armed and dangerous. So watch your back. I don't know nothing. I'm just an ordinary farmhand. Oh, it's late. What do you want from me?
Do you buy wolf here?
That's right. You get a few grosh.
Once I've killed one, I'll come and see you.
Farewell.
Are you Micah?
Depends on who's asking.
I'm Henry. I'm here to... Vulcan. The password is Vulcan.
All right. I'm Micah. Where's Catherine?
It all went tits up. We've got a wounded man. We need to take the wagon all the way to the passage to load him on. Where is it, anyway?
We left the wagon and the horses just outside of Apollonia. The soldiers are combing the forest. Nobody can get through till they stop.
Fuck.
I thought we could sneak out of here. But if someone's wounded...
You don't look too good neither.
Listen, my brother and the butcher's hand are guarding the wagon. But if we don't show up by daybreak, that means something's gone wrong. And they'll leave. Someone has to tell them what happened.
All right, I'll go. Go and find Catherine in the cave. She'll fix you up. Where exactly is the wagon?
Keep heading south from here until you come across a cliff split in two. There's a broken down wagon standing nearby. Go between the rocks, up the hill, then head south. If you pass by an abandoned camp, you'll know you're going the right way. It's another mile or so past the camp. Just keep heading south. You should come across them then. We're parked a bit off the road, so as not to be seen.
All right.
Don't forget to say the password Falcon to them too.
All right.
Good luck.
I'm with you.
Everyone, here! Do it! Take that fucker out, Danny!
We're gonna gut you, you little...
Broken wagon. I have to head up the hill here.
Over here! He's here!
I should keep going south from here. The broken wagon. I have to head up the hill here. I should keep going south from here. Volkan. Catherine sent me. Things got a bit complicated.
Carry straight on to Yichin. The merchant road will take you right to Kuttenberg.
But you're not coming with us?
No. I have to go back to Razik and Hanush and tell them what's been planned and what happened to Lord Capon. Like, it's high time you got going. Watch out for yourselves. Especially you, Henry. I don't have to come back and look for your body again.
I'll do my best.
Look, if you find yourself stuck, look for Sir Odorin of Rabosh and give him this ring. He'll help you, even if he's not too happy about it.
Godspeed!
So, we finally got him. How does it feel? I said.
How does it feel? Do you really think you could get rid of me? No, no, dear boy. You and I still have a lot of work to do.
Henry? Are you hurt? You fell asleep. Are you all right?
Is it much further?
We'll reach Sukdal shortly, if those woodcutters by the forest weren't making it up. They looked pretty frightened.
Maybe they were just in awe of your beauty.
My, you've got a silver tongue, eh?
Not that I want to contradict, but I think there might be another reason. Sigismund is riding roughshod over the country, so the people are cautious. I can't blame them.
If it was only Sigismund. The devil is just as bad.
I thought we'd sorted all this out. He's no saint, not by any means. But he is an ally of the king. My friend.
Who is?
The dry devil.
Lord Hinek of Kunstadt, Burgrave of Znojmo Castle. A great warrior, and at this moment a guest of the Lord of Sukdal.
He's a drunkard, and a dangerous, violent man.
I'll watch him, don't you worry.
Why do they call him the Dry Devil, anyway?
You can ask him yourself when you see him.
I don't know why he's dry, but I know exactly why they call him Devil.
Can you give it a rest? I don't need you insulting him before I get a word in.
Great. So I'm to keep my mouth shut, eh?
Say what you like, just don't go bugging the devil. At least for a while. That's all I'm asking.
What is this Sukdal place we're heading to?
The fortress of Lord Pisek, Mint Master to King Wenceslas himself.
My word! And will a man of his stature see us?
We'll find out soon enough.
Ain't gonna see ya.
I hope
He's got
Dry
an
Devil
important visit.
vouches for us.
And what's your plan after that? We have to save Sir Hans.
Don't worry, we'll get to that, if it's not too late.
Hopefully it won't be. He's a noble, so they'll ransom him.
I don't know. His uncle has a reputation for being a pinch purse. You know him, Henry?
Yeah. Well, I don't know where you heard that from. He was always kind to me.
But that's all by the by anyway. I intend to wage war, not parley. And if I know Dry Devil, he's of the same mind.
Won't it be dangerous for Sir Hans?
It will, and for us too. But I'm sure Lord Capon is expecting that. He rode to Trotsky as a messenger to von Berghoff. I reckon he must have had some idea what might happen.
Long last.
What's this? The gate's wide open.
Watered, fed, saddled, first thing. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Greetings. What's your business here?
The blessing of our Lord Jesus Christ, sir. I expect you're Peter Pisak. I am Jan Žižka of Trocnov. I have an important message for your guest, Hinek of Kronstadt. Actually, for you two.
A message for the Dry Devil?
Well now, Captain Žižka. And young Henry.
Margrave Jobst.
Sir.
I'm afraid your friend Hinek is no longer here. But I'd love to know what brought you two together. But also, what the hell happened to you?
Well, sir...
Unfortunately, I'm otherwise occupied at the moment. Get some rest. You're clearly in dire need of it. We'll talk tomorrow. Sir Peter, please, take care of our guests.
Yes, sir.
Let's go!
He's all we needed.
You must be tired and hungry after your journey. Follow me.
You have a very fine fortress, my lord.
I'm glad you think so.
You don't?
To be honest, I'd prefer to go back to cooking. Life in a fortress isn't ideal for a man with my experience.
And with your fortune.
That gets worryingly smaller every day, Lord Trotznov.
Hardly surprising if you're putting up the Margrave here.
No, that's more down to... Hungarian cousin, if you get my meaning.
Perfectly.
Eat whatever takes your fancy, my friends. You look like you've had a hard journey.
Ah, the journey wasn't so bad, especially compared to what came before it.
Where are you coming from, anyway?
From Trusky.
That's Sir Otto von Burgo's domain. What were you doing there, pray tell?
We were in a castle cellar, talking to an old acquaintance.
My God, how did that happen?
Simple. I'm in the service of Lord Suckle of Lamberg, same as Dry Devil, and I had a job to do around Trusky, if you get my meaning.
Absolutely. But it wasn't much of a success, was it?
Actually, it was pretty much. We even took a castle.
Well, more like a small stronghold.
And we nearly got von Berghoff, too.
And what prevented you from completing that righteous deed?
Actually, it's a little bit my fault.
What are you saying, boy?
Me and my lords were sent to negotiate an alliance with von Berghoff. But that snake was using us the whole time to do his dirty work. He pretended he was willing to cross over to the side of Wenceslas. But instead, he sent us to fight against the king's allies.
And if that wasn't enough, von Orlitz and the Prague militia joined with him.
But why would the Praguers send forces to Trusky?
Ah, but they didn't, sir. They weren't sent to Trusky, but here. They just stopped off to visit von Berghoff because he was in a tight situation, and they took him along with them.
Here? To my fortress? Christ almighty.
Not just here, but everywhere where King Wenceslas still has supporters.
And that's also one of the reasons why we're here. We came to warn you. It seems Sigismund's run out of patience. He's going to break the truce and finish off the rebellion while he still has time. So he's convened all his followers in Kuttenberg with von Berghoff and von Orlitz in the lead. It's just a matter of time before the battles begin.
We've got to secure the fortress quickly, stock up on supplies, reinforce the guard and drill the troops. But I'm grateful to you, friends. Wait here. I'll have the best wine I have brought to you. Bring that red from Burgundy right away.
You might want to save some for Jobst.
I'll gladly risk his displeasure for this occasion.
It seems we both have the same opinion of Jobst, eh?
Well, that is, I wouldn't dream of disrespecting the Margrave. Where do you know him from?
I don't really know him as such. We merely know each other due to my original trade.
Yes, I've heard of you. They say you used to be, well...
Yes, a bandit. It's no secret, sir. King Wenceslas even put a price on my head once. And Catherine here, she...
I'm sure that's of no interest to the noble gentleman. And anyway, if anyone knows Jobst well, it's Henry here. You two are quite on friendly terms, aren't you?
Aye, we know each other well. We recently had talks together in Rattay.
Anyway, we're straying a little from the point. As I said, one of the reasons we came here is to warn you. And the other reason goes by the name of Hinnek, the Dry Devil. Where is he?
Well, he was here for a while, at my invitation.
Was here? So he's gone?
Where did he go?
I couldn't say. He didn't part quite on the best of terms.
That's quite normal for him. Don't take it to heart, sir.
I had no issue with him. It's more about Margrave Jobst. When he met Hinnek, he was somewhat disturbed.
Disturbed? Why?
Well, let's say... After an exchange of opinions, They agreed it would be best if they saw as little of each other as possible. I'm sure if you're interested in the details, the Margrave will explain it to you himself.
I'd be very surprised.
What was Dry Devil doing here, anyway?
Waging war, if you can call it that. He ambushed 3 of Sigismund's supply caravans and a troop of humans in these parts alone. It made me a little nervous. If anyone found out he was hiding out here, in the end, it was Jobst himself who sorted it out. He told Hynek he had to stop because he was interfering with his plans.
Why is Jobst taking such risks? He almost put himself in Sigismund's reach. What for?
To do what he's been doing all his life. Scheming.
One could put it that way. He's seeking allies amongst the undecided lords, and winning over to our side some of the ones who've sided with Sigismund so far.
He wants to make deals with turncoats?
Alas, that's the way it goes in politics. The majority lean towards the side where they expect the least problems. Just between us, I'm not too pleased myself about Jobst's strategy, and I'm the last one who'd wish for violence.
What do you think about all of this, sir? Sigismund, Wenceslas, Jobst?
What kind of question is that? Do you doubt my loyalty to our king?
No, that's not how I meant it.
Henry here sometimes forgets to weigh his words, sir.
That's all right. To be frank, we all know that King Wenceslas isn't the great man his father Charles was. But that is the way of the world. History is full of kings who didn't know how to wear the crown. The blood running in their veins is more important than what's in their heads. He's not a capable ruler. What of it? In my opinion, kingship is above all a guarantee of divine peace. A sovereign's greatest asset is his legitimacy.
But what if the sovereign is truly bad? If he's mad, say?
I'll put it this way. Nobody lives forever, lad.
Least of all bad kings. Isn't that right, sir?
So, what about us? What do we do now?
The Margrave will certainly want to talk to you, but the earliest he'll be back at the fortress will be tomorrow. I hope until then, you won't refuse my offer of a bed for the night.
Just an offer. So you'd let us leave if we wanted to?
Well, the Margrave did ask me to look after you until he returns, for the sake of security.
Whose security?
Good question. Yours, I expect.
Ah, so be it. I couldn't take another step anyway.
Sir, there's still one more thing we came for. Lord von Burgov is holding my lord, Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, hostage. And we also have to warn Jobst's ally, John of Liechtenstein. Do you know anything about those two?
Sorry, I don't. I didn't even know von Burgau had come here until you told me. And I've heard nothing about Lord Liechtenstein.
Which is actually good news. If he'd been caught and executed, the word would be all over the region. So there's a strong hope he's alive.
Thank you for the warm welcome, Lord Pisek.
It's the least I could do, lad. My fortress is open to all the king's supporters, even if that does make it a bit crammed.
I suppose I ought to get to bed. Where can I sleep, sir?
I had some chambers prepared for all of you. Yours is right here in the palace. Cross that corridor and go up the stairs. You can't miss it. There's a garland above the door. But first, eat your fill. All of you. And maybe you'd like to bathe before going to bed. I told my servant Susanna to prepare baths for you. The baths are in the little house in the courtyard, right next to the well.
What do you think of Lord Pisek?
He's a real man, at least. Noble and good-mannered. But I hope his age has weakened his hearing. You should be ashamed of yourself asking about him when he's right next to us.
What do you plan to do now?
What do you think? Have a proper meal and then go and...
You have a very fine fortress, my lord.
I'm glad you think so.
You don't?
To be honest, I'd much prefer to go back to cooking. A knife in a fortress isn't ideal. Worry gets smaller every day, Roger. Eat whatever take. Where
from? We simple.
Action.
And
Markvart von Aulis.
I know that name.
Exactly. And they came with him.
But why would the Pragas send forces to Trotsky?
But they didn't, sir.
Here?
Not just here.
And that, it seems... So he's...
We've got a sick... But I'm grateful. Bring that
You might want to save some for Yobs.
I'll gladly...
It seems we both...
Where do you know?
Yes. And
And anyway...
Well, we only met once, in fact.
Anyway, as I said, one of the reasons we came here... Where is...
Well...
What?
Where did...
I had...
Just...
I'm sure if you're interested...
What would...
Wait, it may...
Why is...
To do...
One, he's seeking allies.
He was...
Just be...
What do you...
What kind of question is...
No, that...
Henry here, some...
That's all right. To be frank, we all know that is the blood run in my...
But what if...
Least...
So...
The mark, I hope...
Just...
Who's...
So...
So, and we all...
Sorry.
Which is...
Thank you. It's the... I had crossed foot.
What'll it be?
What do you have?
Maybe next time then.
Good to see you, friend.
Lord Pisek said...
Yes, sir. I prepared the hot water and fragrant oils myself. And I'll wash your...
You have a very fine fortress, my lord.
I'm glad you think so.
You don't? Let's be honest.
Fuck me.
Eat whatever. Where from?
We
my
simple
abs
action
well,
and
Mark.
exactly.
but
here
Not just
and it's so he.
we've got to. But I'm great. Bring that.
It's
When you? Yeah.
and
and any
well, as I said, where
Well,
was. Thank Christ.
where did he go?
I could.
That's
I had.
I can't.
Let's just say, I'm sure.
What was...
Wait. It.
Why is...
One. He's.
He
Just be.
What do you...
What?
No, no.
But the in my.
But what...
Please,
So,
The mark. I heard.
just
who's
sir, and we all...
wait.
Thank you.
It's.
Oh, it's a...
I had crossed first.
kann nicht mehr weiter.
Lord Pisek said
Yes, sir.
I could get used to this.
If sir will allow.
What happened at Nebakov after the Praguers took the fortress?
You're asking me?
Of course. I know you weren't there, but I only remember that diabolical shot. Nothing else.
That must have been really terrible. I heard the shot all the way from Troskowitz. I'm afraid all I know is when they took the fortress, von Aulitz's men hanged everyone they found there. I'm sorry, but most of ours got left behind there.
There was this healer called Clara there.
A girl of yours?
No, I don't know her well. But she was very I suppose, now on...
Poor girl. You have to live every day like it's going to be your last. That's all you can do in our trade.
Do you know if Mike...
I'm afraid I do know.
Did you know him?
Not now.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I can't.
No, that... What do you plan to...
What do you think?
Oh. May I join you?
At least we'd only take up one of Lord Pisek's beds instead of two. But I'd like to get some rest. And I advise you to do the same. We have lots of work ahead of us.
How are you?
Much better with hot food in my belly. But...
Don't over... Any order?
Now, I'm not sure how...
What do you...
He's a real man, but I hope it... Oh, you should be ashamed of...
I mean...
Fret not, I take no offense. I can tell you come from far away. The king's official who oversees the Italian court, where the Prague Russian is minted out...
That sounds important.
Indeed, and that is why Sigismund stripped me of my office as soon as he took control of Kuttenberg.
I know we're in Sukdal, and that this fortress belongs to you, but I don't know anything else.
It's not exactly a royal castle, as you can see. You'll find dozens of such fortresses around. As the town grew richer, many burghers wanted to climb the social ladder to join the nobility. They bought land. Kuttenberg is surrounded by plains, so they've been springing...
Greetings.
How are you?
All the better for being greeted so respectfully. He's terribly jealous and he could...
You wouldn't happen to know where Lord Hinnek of Kunstad went, would you?
I don't know, but I hope as far away...
What?
A respectable woman doesn't talk about that kind of thing, but if it hadn't been for my husband, he'd have been...
I beg your pardon. I'm asking because I've just arrived and...
If it's mercenary work you're interested, you'll...
I beg your pardon. I'm asking...
If it's you'll... God be with you.
So you got your revenge? Father, did it make you feel any better? It did. So what comes next?
Mark von Aulitz is next. Then von Burgov.
And is that what you really want, son? No matter how many people you kill, you can't change what's happened.
It's what I want.
Are you sure, Henry?
What's happening? Why are you waking me up? You again?
Yes, the Margrave is calling for you, sir. You and the other gent.
You mean Zizka?
I suppose. I don't know what his name is, but he's waiting down in the courtyard. I'm just on my way to tend to his wounds.
And what about Catherine?
That's the good wife who arrived with you? I don't know. I think I saw her with our captain.
Oh, very well.
Before you go, I brought you something for breakfast. In case you're hungry. Oh, have I been too bold?
No. Do you need anything?
No.
So...
You haven't dismissed me, sir.
I'm not a nobleman. You don't have to stand on ceremony.
I do, since you're a guest of the Mark.
That is... yes, of course.
Thank you.
Greetings, friend. God be with you. Good day to you.
Good to see you, friend.
Greetings. God be with you.
Greetings to you, friend.
Who are you off to see, Smelly?
Good day.
Good day. Good day.
stuffed with wildflowers? Well, how come you smell so nice?
Excuse me.
Aye, come to think of it. It was him who told me.
Never saw that coming.
Have a good day. You see, Manadama, we aren't idle here. Train like that every day.
Admirable. If Sigismund and his army happened to turn up, you'd have 2 warriors.
But why would he come here?
Why wouldn't he? Lord Pisak used to be the king's mint master. And everyone knows he's on Wenceslas's side.
Yes, but...
But I'm sure you're not afraid of him.
You're right. Let the ginger fox come. Our walls will hold back.
Or most of them, at least.
What?
I'm just a simple village woman. But the wall above the gate is crumbling like stale bread.
What?
And the towers. The local villagers have them stuffed with hay.
But, good wife, you don't know what you're talking about. There was a lot of rain, and the storm destroyed the hay shed.
As I say, I'm just a simple village woman. But
I do what I can.
Lo, the Worth Henry of Skalitz. I'm just holding a discussion with the captain here about his desolate fortress.
That's not how I'd put it. In the end, as my Großvater said, the strength of a castle is measured by its garrison. And mine is one of the best in the region. What do you say, lad? Am I right?
Never saw that coming.
Well, your grandfather was right. A castle with a weak garrison is no good for anything. But your men... I'd say the girls from our village would do a better job of defending the place.
What did you say, you bastard? Why don't you show us how it's done, then? Now that we have Großer Meister among us, we should make use of him, shouldn't we?
Sure, if it'd make you happy.
Show us what you're made of, my knight.
Come, Junge. We'll stuff your clothes with straw, so you don't come to any harm, and let you have a go against one of ours. Pulcock, come here! The first to bleed loses.
bless. Good to see you, friend. Greetings.
God be with you.
Are your pockets stuffed with wild flowers?
Excuse me.
You see, my name. Dharma, we aren't idle here.
Hello. I'm just holding.
That's not in the end. What do you...
Oh, you're gra-
Why don't...
Sure.
Show.
Come, you pull car. The first... Yeah. Ah! Ah! So... Ah! 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 Ah!
Excellent, Henry.
It was nothing.
Good, Gama. You have my admiration. You really are good with the sword. I hope my...
You should receive some kind of...
And what reward?
I was rearranging our saddlebags and I remembered I took
Oh.
a hunting crossbow. I even think it's von Berghoff's. I was meaning to sell it.
My word. I better go and find Zizka. The Margrave is...
I saw Zizka next to the stables. There was some girl hanging around him.
Do you want to come with us to see Jobst?
Not really. I'll go and... I have a feeling we'll have to leave soon.
Why?
A woman's intuition.
I'd like to...
What are you...
Tell me how to...
I'll tell you some...
I heard Kuttenberg surrendered to Sigismund, and his army is running amok here in the area.
They are. These dreckigen Hurensöhne are angry, you see? They thought they would rake in the silver from the Kuttenberg mines. But they couldn't have been more wrong. Sigismund kept all the treasure for himself. Why should he pay them out of his own pocket when the local lords are feeding them?
What?
I don't understand.
Dann pass mal auf. As soon as the soldiers began looting the villages around the city, the local nobility quickly decided it's better to pay them Lösegeld.
So that Hungarian bastard is getting rich, while the locals feed his army.
Das trifft den Nagel auf den Kopf. And yet, that carrot-top Schweinehund lets the monks in the Zealots monastery fuss over him while he receives legations from the whole kingdom.
Did Sigismund also...
Oh, yes, as soon as he got here. But my men know what to do. Mit der Hilfe Gottes, we fended him off and forced him to... Mein Herr Peter, however, had to pay him a fat Lösegeld. The villages in the vicinity fared even...
What happened?
They raised Mesolis and Opatowitz. They haven't been here since then. But the Teufel soll's...
How do things work around here?
Not really, except for the Sigismund military camp at Opatowitz. And it isn't really all that safe in the raised villages either. These Banditenbanden have settled in there. A bunch of dossers who'll easily cut your throat for a piece. So God will. These evil...
Where did you...
Unfortunately, they've occupied the hill above the main road near Kuttenberg. So no one... When you walk out of the village and look toward Opatowitz, pah, that Hungarian camp is like a boil. It's just festering.
I need to top up my supply.
You'd be better off asking the innkeeper Slivka in the village about these things. He knows everyone from... And that's no surprise, because he makes such...
How do I...
Das ist nicht schwer. You just... Or you can also follow your nose. There's smoke. The smell is hell, but it's worth it for the silver. In fact, the silver's why Kuttenberg is the second richest city in the kingdom, right?
Do you know by chance how to get into that monastery where Sigismund is staying?
Wie bitte? Hast du den Verstand verloren? You can... And listen closely to what I tell you. I don't know. Leave Sigismund alone. The wheels of justice grind slowly, but surely. You'll see.
How's it going?
Sehr interessant. I thought you were helping.
What of it? So is there anything...
Was soll ich sagen? After our Lord paid ransom for us to the Chaiskel Cherton, there is peace. Aber warte. Actually, there is... You ought to have a word with our huntsman Dobrosch. He might have eine Aufgabe for you. See, someone poached a white roebuck in his territory the other day.
A white roebuck?
Yeah, and Dobrosch takes it as a personal offense.
What exactly do you mean?
Just ask him if there's anything new happening in his territory and what... Oh, ja. Und das war alles.
All right, thank you.
Gott segne dich.
Greetings. What do you need?
What goes on in the forest, Huntsman?
There are poachers prowling in the woods, a band led by this ginger-headed Mach of Marshowitz. They've been causing trouble for quite some time, but now they've really overdone it.
What happened?
They killed a rare white roebuck that lived in our woods. Killed and skinned it. Sir Peter of Pisek put a bounty on their heads. The bounty's yours if you help me track...
I must say, I've never seen a white roebuck before.
It's an exceedingly rare animal. It was beautiful. Its hide was white as snow. Sir Peter forbade hunting it, but I wouldn't have even if I could. Killing an animal like that is bad luck.
Do you know any more about these poachers?
They're led by some fella called Mach of Marshowitz, and they fancy themselves some kind of a brotherhood. From what I've heard, they showed up in the village below the castle a couple of times trying to sell venison. The guards always sent them packing. Our knacker, Wolfram, was the only one who talked to them.
That knacker, Wolfram, do you think he had anything to do with the dead roebuck and the poachers?
Oh, he has a dishonourable profession, true enough, and he sells hides and meat wherever he can. But having the gall to work with poachers, I don't think so. He's on thin enough ice as it is, being a knacker and all. If his lordship found out he had anything to do with it, he'd have him hanged. But he might know something about that band.
All right, Huntsman. I'll try to track the poachers down. Maybe they haven't sold the hide yet, and I'll be able to find it.
Excellent. And if you mete out capital punishment on the spot, all the better. Every member of that band carries a squirrel tail on them. Probably a badge of their hunting prowess.
Where should I look for...
Ah, that's the hard part. I'm sure they have a hideout in the woods around here. If you don't know what to do, you can try to get something...
Thanks for the...
Farewell.
What smells good here?
God be with...
So, what's life like here?
What can I say, lad? It used to be better. There was peace and quiet while King Charles was alive. But those sons of his aren't up to much. Warring against each other. They should... We're lucky we have Sir Peter. He won't allow us to come to any harm.
What's Sir Peter like?
Oh, he has a heart of gold. God smiled on us when he sent us Sir Peter. But he has a terrible sweet tooth. He eats nothing but preserves and sweet dumplings with curd cheese. And when he does feel like some meat, he demands nothing but chaffinch.
I'm a bit hungry.
That's not possible. I had you sent breakfast.
You wouldn't have...
You mean that bony knight? I can't... See you later, my friend.
that smell? Where's it coming from?
I'm sorry.
A groom hit me with a crossbow nearby Yichin. The boy was nearly 15. Poor fella.
That's how I lost my sweetheart.
Someone shot him?
No, he shot someone else.
Ah, I see.
And what about your eyebrow, sir? It seems a bit crooked. Do you have a scar there too?
Aye. I nearly lost my eye.
Also in battle?
No, I was a lad. I made a bet with some friends that I could run.
How are things, Captain?
What do you think? I've seen better days. And you, youngster?
Me? Well, considering what we've been through, surprisingly good.
Just wait until you've been through as much as I have.
Nah, don't say that. You still have your...
But enough chat.
That's why I'm here. I wanted to take Catherine along too, but she said she'd rather get the horses ready.
She's doing the right thing, and you better run ahead and greet the Margrave. I'll join you shortly.
Are you expecting trouble?
I always expect trouble. Jobst has turned coats more times than I can count. And the way things are these days, I'd rather have horses standing by, even on a visit to my parents.
What about that dry devil of yours? Did you find out where he went?
No, nobody asked him where he was going, but it seems they're hoping it's as far away as possible. I'm not surprised. If I know him, he wasn't the ideal guest.
At least Jobst might know where he is.
He might. To be honest, that's the only reason for talking to him.
Should I really go and see?
So what? You already know him better than I do. You met him in Ratat.
All right, but he sent for us.
A bit odd, I suppose. But you must understand, I'm doing this for our benefit.
All right then, I'll be going. I'd like to look...
What do you want?
Henry. Where's Captain Zizka?
He got held up.
I received a report that von Bergov's banner is flying in the camp of my dear cousin Sigismund, so I assume the negotiations at Trotsky didn't go too smoothly.
No, sir. I don't have good news for you, I'm afraid.
Well, good or bad, I'm sure you have plenty to report. So what happened with von Bergov at Trotsky?
I beg your pardon, Margrave.
Really? I have the opposite feeling. John of Liechtenstein, my court spy. But there's one thing you're right about. I have a fair idea about what you got up to at Trotsky. I heard you ended up in von Bergov's dungeon. And judging by the state you were in when you arrived, I expect they didn't treat you too well. You didn't reveal anything important there by any chance?
Well, although it wasn't me who told him, von Bergov did get certain information.
What information?
About Liechtenstein. That he's in Kuttenberg. And what he's doing there. I'm really sorry, sir, but... well, they tortured us.
That is truly unfortunate. But you've nothing to be ashamed of. I think it's too much to expect anyone to hold their tongue under torture.
But Lord Liechtenstein... what if they killed him because of us?
John went straight into the lion's den. He knew the risks. Thank you for the news. You're free to go if you want. But I would be glad if you stayed at the fortress. As soon as it's possible, you can join a legation heading for Rattay. I'm sure you already...
What? Go home? I can't. I have to rescue Sir Hans. I made a promise I'd protect him.
A noble thought. But you mustn't worry about Lord Capon. I'm sure von Bergov has him trapped in a gilded cage.
But I made a promise, sir.
I understand, but honestly, Lord Capon is now safer than you or I. The most sensible course now is to wait for the ransom demand.
And this scar?
How are things?
What do you...
Just... I doubt I'll ever live long...
Ha! Looking at you, I've no fear of...
I don't know.
You might be surprised. War. But enough chat.
That's why I'm here. I wanted to take Catherine along, too. But she said she'd rather get the horses ready.
She's doing the right thing. And you better run ahead and greet them.
Are you...
What? No, I'm not. He might.
I'll be going.
received...
Burgov had no interest in our message. By the time we finally arrived at Trotsky, he'd already long since made a deal with Sigismund. But of course, he didn't tell Sir Hans and me anything. And on top of that, he used us to do his dirty work. Everything went to hell in the end, and we ended up in a dungeon. Or at least I did. In fact, that's why we're here.
So I've heard. But it's been some time since our meeting in Ratai, and now you appear here by the side of a quite unexpected guest.
An unexpected guest?
Yes, of course, I've heard of Zhishka before, and of his unconventional ways of supporting our king. But I don't know where you know him from.
We met outside Trotsky, in rather complicated circumstances. We crossed swords. I can only thank God we didn't kill each other.
And who was giving Zhishka orders? Do you know?
I think it's some Jan Sokol of Lamberg.
That would make sense.
Forgive me, my lord, but how is it possible you don't know? Aren't you all on the same side?
Bear in mind that my dear cousin, His Majesty King Wenceslas, has many supporters, and each of them has their own ideas about how to defend him.
That might not end well. My ma used to say when two different people do the same thing, it's not the same thing.
Your mother was clearly a wise woman. Nonetheless, I've heard you've had another proverb in Bohemia. Too many dogs means death for the hare.
Well, if the same applies to the ginger fox, I'm all for it.
Time will tell. Let's move on. I heard something about a pillory and poaching. What in God's name did you and Sir Hans get up to?
Things went wrong right from the beginning. We were ambushed, and we lost the letter. Lord Capon and I were lucky to get out of it alive. But no one at Trotsky believed that we were messengers.
Von Berghoff refused to aid a nobleman in need. That seems pretty low for a man of his stature.
Well, to be honest, Lord Capon didn't really look much like a nobleman. We were ambushed while bathing in a pond, and then we fled through the woods. So we really looked like a pair of beggars.
Ah, that must have been a peculiar feeling for Lord Capon.
Not only for him, sir. I may be just a bastard, but
believe me, I didn't. In any case, are you sure there's nothing else you want to tell me?
Well, you should probably know that Istvan Toth was working for von Berghoff.
Who's he?
One of Sigismund's cronies. He was causing havoc around Ratai.
Ah, yes. Hanush and Radzig mentioned some such person. They even foolishly let him go.
They had to. They gave him their word.
Yes. Well, it's actually quite heartening that some people still have such naive ideas about the world.
Well, no one let him go this time. He's dead.
Very good. From what I've heard, he was a bandit and a cutthroat. There should be no dealings with his ilk.
Isn't Zhishka a bandit?
Zhishka is loyal to Wenceslas. So he's no bandit or cutthroat, but a fake. But let's move on.
That's all that happened.
Truly. My court messenger and bearer of tidings, both good and bad, John... By the way, you said... Tell me.
Well, they asked questions, yes. But I was counting on that, and prepared...
How did you prepare you?
Well, I mainly told them things I was pretty sure of on Burgov, like that Radzig is a supporter of Wenceslas. But I don't think he expected anything more from a simple...
That's true. I must say, Henry, you've pleasantly surprised me. You can keep a cool head as the world around you burns. Thank you for the news. You're free to go if you want. But I would be... As soon as it's possible, you can join a legation heading for Rattay. I'm sure you already want to go home.
Sir, that's a...
If you wish to stay and help here, I'll be glad, of course. I need someone to escort my envoys, and you've proven yourself more...
It's Lord Capon, Your Grace. I came to find out where he is, and rescue him.
A noble thought. But you mustn't worry about Lord Capon. I'm sure von Berghoff has him trapped in a gilded cage.
But I made a promise, sir.
I understand, but honestly, Lord Capon is now safer than you or I. The most sensible course now is to wait for the ransom demand.
Margrave.
Ah, Captain Zizka. Henry and I were just discussing Lord Capon.
Yeah, the Margrave thinks he's in no danger, and we should wait for a ransom demand.
As one does.
I wanted to talk to you about something else. I suppose you're wondering why your friend Hinnek, also known as the Dried Devil, isn't here?
Oh, there's plenty of gossip going on around the fortress. You and Pisek refused to grant him asylum.
Asylum is for those in distress, Captain. Hinnek came to burn and pillage. I have quite different plans.
And what might those be, Margrave? Sitting and talking while King Wenceslas rots in a dungeon. What would I expect? Not so long ago, you were conspiring with Sigismund against Prokop, your own brother.
It would be futile trying to explain to you the intricacies of the Luxembourg's dynastic politics. Let me just explain that that was what was called for in the situation. But I assure you that I am now acting in the best interests of this country and of King Wenceslas.
You're acting first and foremost in your own interests. Everyone knows that.
Strong words coming from a man who earns his bread by killing merchants on the road. No offense intended. I applaud your art. The pen is mightier than the sword, but there are times when it's vice versa. Enter!
All ready to leave now, sir?
Good. It's high time. I expect the captain was about to leave anyway. Are you not?
With pleasure.
And you, Henry?
Me? Well, sir, I made a promise.
I understand. I won't attempt to keep you here by force. But bear in mind, I have concluded a very fragile truce with Sigismund, which gives us time to get ready. And if anyone should disrupt my plans with headstrong acts of violence, there will be consequences. Grave consequences. I consider this matter closed. Farewell and good luck.
I get the feeling Yopes didn't make a great impression on you. Are we leaving?
Yeah. And Henry's going with us.
Wait, you'll help me find Capon?
Sure. But we'll need people for that. And information. Catherine, I've got a job for you.
Yes?
Go to Kuttenberg. Find out what happened to Liechtenstein. If anyone knows what's going on in his godforsaken country, it'll be him. In the meantime, we'll go and find Dry Devil and his band.
Good luck. I'd go all the way to Rome to spy if it kept me away from the devil.
Let's go!
Stay close. The devil doesn't know you, but he should recognize you. Even like this, unless he's too drunk.
What is your plan, anyway? Go from village to village, hamlet to hamlet, until we find him?
That won't be necessary.
We just have to visit places where you can get booze.
So all the taverns and dens in the region?
If it comes to that.
I'm up for that.
Don't get your hopes up. We'll have a beer, listen to the local rumor mill, and if we don't find anything, we'll pay up and move on.
Where do we start?
I have heard of a place that's a favored meeting spot of bandits, poachers, and all kinds of scum. If I was looking for the devil, or at least someone who knows something about him, that's where I'd go.
Sounds like a good place to start. And if we find the devil, what then?
If we're really to step on Sigismund's toes, we need capable men. And the devil's capable. Of anything, really.
I'm not sure what the three of us can achieve.
Hinek's not alone. He has the devil's pack.
Who?
That's what his band is called. They're exactly the sort of men we need.
And what do you have in mind when you say step on Sigismund's toes? What about Liechtenstein and Capon?
The same thing we did to von Berghoff. But don't worry. It's gonna take a lot of time before we're ready. In the meantime, hopefully Catherine will find out where young Liechtenstein is hiding. If his spy network really lives up to the legend, he'll surely know where they're keeping young Capon.
I hope so. And when he's free, then we can step on Sigismund's toes. I'm sure Lord Capon will be happy to help.
In that case, he'd be better off staying in captivity. So, what do you say? Should we speed up?
The road's quiet. The surroundings are pretty. Why rush? At least we won't be so conspicuous.
If you say so.
Shouldn't we speed up? We won't get there before dark like this.
What's the matter? Don't you want to enjoy the scenery?
Right. Why hurry? There's plenty of time.
Dismount. We're here. I hope our journey doesn't prove to be in vain. Keep your hand on your hilt, Henry. Around here, you never know what...